What is your view of this Trump plan?
Look, I mean, anything that stops a 2-year genocide certainly has to be welcome. What we're watching right now is the complete annihilation of an entire people, the deliberate killing of children, the starving of an entire civilian population. So yes, anything that could have put a stop to this, you would have to welcome it. But I think it's really important to press on the fact that if you look at the totality of the 20-point plan, it's frankly ridiculous because it puts us back precisely at the point that led us here in the first place, which is that it says nothing about the Palestinian people's right to live as a free people in their own land. It says that Gaza is going to be administered by some sort of board of peace that is led by Trump himself and by Tony Blair, two people whose records of crimes in the Middle East, frankly, are fairly lengthy. That itself is laughable. And the fact that then Israel gets to retain a security perimeter inside Gaza so they never have to fully withdraw, and it's up to them when they decide to withdraw, you're effectively putting Palestinians once again under Israeli control and domination, and that is not going to solve the situation long term. So yes, it's welcome to stop the killing and starving that we're witnessing right now. It's frankly insane that it took 2 years for us to reach the conclusion that somebody has to put a stop to the way Israel is conducting itself. But we're not dealing with a long-term situation, and we're not dealing with a fundamental problem, which is Palestinians are still not going to be a free people. Just on the point of Hamas specifically, it's a done deal. Hamas has already conceded many months ago that they're willing to give up governing Gaza. So that's not even on the table anymore. The question is, what is the future of Gaza? And frankly, I'm worried that Netanyahu is still angling for a way to continue this genocide or to put, to reimpose Israeli dominance over Gaza. And he's playing Trump. And we're in a situation where we're going to have to see who gets their way. But I'm not optimistic because I don't think Trump is particularly knowledgeable or sophisticated about any of this. He still looks at this from the perspective of a possible, real estate deal and what money could be made instead of trying to solve a fundamental problem of a people who are not.
Do you accept that with their actions on October the 7th, which is 2 years ago tomorrow, do you accept that with the scale of that terror attack, that Hamas surrendered right then and there any right to be part of any government after all this?
Yeah, if that is the argument, and I have no problem with it, then the Israeli government has long surrendered its right to continue governing any part of historic Palestine because there are crimes against Palestinians even before October 7th. And that's a point that nobody talks about. Even before October 7th, Israeli crimes against Palestinians are far greater than anything that had happened on October 7th. And that, if you erase the fact that hundreds of Palestinian children were massacred in Gaza before October 7th by the Israeli military, if you erase the fact that Palestinians were never allowed to be a free people in Gaza or the West Bank, and they're treated as second-class citizens inside Israel itself, and many of them are not allowed to return to their homes. If you erase all that, then yes, what you're saying makes sense. But in a context in which Israeli government crimes against Palestinians are infinitely greater, it's fine that we're at a point where we're saying, okay, fine, Hamas is not the right leadership. They've done horrible things, and no doubt they have. But the one-sided way we deal with this question, I think, is deeply frustrating, that we continue to treat Israel as the protagonist and Palestinians as just, some people that we just can be ruled by whoever we decide to do for them, instead of looking at the fundamental problem here in Israeli society and the fact that a majority of Israelis support genocidal policies, vote for people like Benjamin Netanyahu and Smotrich and Ben Gvir to rule the country. That itself is a problem, but we give Israelis the right to self-determine who leads them, but we're constantly talking about how we can't accept that for Palestinians, and somebody from the outside has to determine who rules Palestinians. That's a double standard that nobody has been able to address.